SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Waiting. You do it at grocery stores, in traffic, and at the doctor's office. But what if you could skip the wait altogether? Introducing Trust Care Plus, a healthcare membership that makes feeling better even faster. Skip the waiting room and enjoy priority access at any Trust Care clinic. Sick kid? Text your care crew day or night. Get discounts on prescriptions and so much more. Wait no more. Feeling better just got a whole lot faster. Join Trust Care Plus today. Plans start from just $15 a month. Learn more at trustcarehealth.com/plus.
Roll free record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Roll A, fade up on A.
Southern Miss to the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
From the Southern Bancorp Studios in Hattiesburg, I'm Kelly Sanner along with producer-engineer Michael Mergens. Just a word of note before we get into the show today. I sound a lot worse than I feel. Just some of the fall allergies. I know, Merg, you do allergy stuff all year round.
Pretty much have to.
Yeah.
It's always, as soon as fall season's done, you got winter allergies.
Yeah.
And spring allergies. There's like a slight window in May. It's like a 2-week.
So I sound terrible, but I feel good. Of course, I've never looked very good, so that doesn't have any effect on it at all. But this first segment of the program brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Smoked here, loved everywhere. Big supporters of Southern Miss. Leave your catering, big or small, to Dickey's with a complete line of great side items that will make everyone full and happy when they leave. Joining us in just a moment, Graham Crawford is out at the Hattiesburg Country Club side of the Scott Berry Golf Tournament. Then a little bit later on in the program, we'll be hearing from Brynn Botkin, a senior volleyball player from Magnolia, Texas, as they get ready to head to South Al for a first-place battle in the conference. Mike Frazer from JUCO Weekly will be here to set us up for a big night of junior college football and then news and notes. Let's go out to the Hattiesburg Country Club now, where our colleague Graham Crawford joins us. And Graham, you've got the past of Southern Miss baseball, the present, and the future. How's it going out there today? Beautiful day.
Man, it is awesome. Anybody that has not been out here to Hattiesburg Country Club, it is definitely a treat. I actually had the pleasure. I'm sitting here watching some Southern Miss greats tee off as we speak. And on hole 13, we've got, here sitting in the cart with me, we got Coach Hill Denson. I've got Coach Scott Berry sitting here watching, one of the greatest players come through Southern Miss. Got Brian Dozier teeing off, and then Christian Ostrander is standing up there with the man, the myth, Mr. Catfish, if people remember him. True. So it's a cool day for everyone that's been a part of Southern Miss and for everybody to really get back. But, you know, what's really cool is the fact that I'm sitting here looking at these three coaches, and I've got Coach Hill Denson here sitting in the cart with me that started this entire dream that now is reality. Coach, I want to ask just how was the first thought and how has it progressed up to now? What do you think?
Well, the first thought, Graham, was, once we got the job and found out about it and came down and looked at the roster and had to figure out what we were going to do to play that season. I came January 1st, and we played about 3 weeks later, so we didn't have, I always thought Pete ought to get part of those losses we had there.
He should have.
Yeah, but I get it all on my record. But anyhow, we had, at that time, it wasn't very big in Mississippi. Well, not in Mississippi, but at Southern Miss, it wasn't big at all. And, to be real honest, we were pretty low on the totem pole. And we got started and just worked our way up, and it's come to where we'd like to see it be and even go further. So,
Coach, as you're sitting here watching the generations of Eagle coaches, I know the first meeting I had at Southern Miss was a hidden coach meeting with Travis Krill when he talked about the history of Southern Miss. And it was cool to hear that in the last, over 100 years, there's only been 6 coaches. Is that right? 7?
Yeah.
Is it 7?
I thought there was 4. But
4.
Yeah.
I apologize. And I'm sitting here looking at 3 of them. And, Kelly, I wish I could know how many wins have these I mean, we got one up and coming, but just these two guys that have been here, how many wins do you think they've got?
Yeah, it's a bunch.
It's a bunch, ain't it?
I don't know what it is. It'd be a good bunch. Scott passed my win record, a couple of years ago, and after we got together that next weekend, I said, all right, big boy, see if you can catch the loss record. And I don't think he ever caught it. So.
I'm about to go walk over here. I've got Josh Toms actually hitting, and I'm standing with the new pitching coach right now. And I got Coach Kelly Sanner. Wants to ask you a question. Who is it? This is Kelly. We're on the Eagle Hour right now.
How are you?
Is that Coach Leger?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, Gunner, you got the Cajuns and the Eagles this weekend. Who do you like in football?
No comment.
That's tough.
Yeah, I can't. Come on. That's a trick question.
Of course not. Of course not.
That's a trick question.
It is. And of course,
I hope it's a close game. I hope it goes in double overtime, and I don't care who wins. How about that?
You just hope that both teams play the best they can play, right?
For what it's worth, he's got a Southern Miss hat on and a Southern Miss pullover, so I think I know who he's going for.
Gunner,
I remember a couple of weeks ago, Kelly, we had mentioned one of the main pieces of the Southern Miss program, and I'm actually standing in front of him, didn't get to mention him earlier, Coach Todd Makovic, our strength coach. Hey, talk to him, Todd. Here you go.
Kelly.
What's going on?
Not too much, man. It's good to have you in our neighborhood, by the way.
Yeah, you doing good, neighbor?
Yeah, Coach Makovic and I are neighbors. He rarely gets down to my end of the block, but he's up there in the more expensive homes. But
relax. I'm too busy at work.
Hey,
I don't get to see nothing.
Hey, Todd, I want to ask you really quick, and we're going to look at the Southern Miss injury list report going into the Lafayette game this weekend against the University of Louisiana, but we've only got like 5 or 6 guys that are questionable or aren't going to go. Talk a little bit about the importance of strength training and all that as far as conditioning goes and keeping players healthy.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, what they do on the football end over there is absolutely next level stuff. It's kind of turning around everything there from the strength conditioning, but not only that, but the discipline and things like that. And a lot of, injuries on the field, performance and stuff like that can get boiled down to the fact of having that sense of accountability and discipline that Coach Hoff, Coach Ashford over there, the football program, has really instilled. Of basically being able to do the right things at the right time so those athletes aren't put in an improper position. And on top of that, I mean, like, I don't work with football, but I can tell you right now that Coach Ashford gets those guys right, and from not just the physicality end, but definitely the mental side, the idea of trying to become a better man every single day. And if that ain't a way to get a team right, then I don't know what is. So what they're doing from the physical and the mental end is the next level stuff that has really helped turn that program around.
Todd, I wanted to ask you, too, while I've got
Kelly,
you.
2 seconds. Todd, actually, he's got to walk away, but I've got Coach Barry, the tournament name, actually. And I don't know how long ago it started, Coach. But, I mean, what's it come to now?
This is the 14th annual.
Really?
Graham, yeah, it's been a great turnout and keeps continuing to get bigger each year. So we're just proud of everybody that buys into this tournament, and all the proceeds go to Southern Miss baseball.
Right there. It should be right there. Coach, as it's been your 14th year, and you're sitting here looking at the guys that have been here, you've got coaches that you coached with, and actually some guys that you coached, believe it or not. We've got new Coach Braden Luke right here, and he's just came off of his year. As you look at over the years as the program's has progressed, how cool is it to sit back and just look and watch?
Well, it is. It's all about relationships as you go through life, and certainly coaching builds that with players and the community, fans, with everything. But, as I look at this tournament, the guys that have been here since day one, certainly the personalities have stayed the same, but the bodies have changed a little bit, even the players. So they're eating on some pretty good nutritional programs from back when they played.
That's right. From the 24 to 35, I guess they got on a whole nother nutrition program that's a little bit different than Coach Makovic had us back in the day.
Well, yeah, Coach Mack does an excellent job. I'll tell you what, part of the Southern Miss success has been the development side, and it certainly starts with that strength and conditioning, not only on the physical changes that he brings about, but the mental changes as well, as he prepares these guys to go out and compete on a level that's very, very competitive day in, day out, with a lot of good programs out there. So everybody plays a part in the success of what we've had over the years, and certainly we are very grateful for those that have given their time and with our program.
Coach Barry, I want to ask you if everybody's wearing shorts out there today so that they don't get their legs stuck in a bunch of crap that's probably being spewed. And how much golf is actually getting played today?
We're sitting here at 13, Kelly, on the long drive hole, and I'll tell you, it's pretty impressive. There's some guys that are putting it out there a long, long way. So, best I can tell you, don't have to be a good athlete to play golf, is what I'm witnessing with some of these guys out here. So, but no, it's a challenging game, one that I've started playing since I retired, and certainly I'd rather try to hit a baseball than a golf ball, to be honest with you. It is, I'll tell you. But
how it makes sense.
But it is, we've got a great group out here, 144 players. We're already sold out for next year. So just very blessed, the people that buy into this tournament and understand what builds Southern Miss baseball.
Hey, going back a few years, I've always said that I thought that the best overall athlete to ever play at Southern Miss, and he could sure knock it a ton on the golf course, was Ray Guy.
Well, I talked about him earlier today. A guy that I compared him to was Taylor Braley. I mean, Braley is a guy that, he could just pick up anything and just do it well. And to watch him hit that golf ball out here today, and it's the same way with a baseball bat or with a ball in his hand, whether he was starting a game or closing a game with us. He and Ray, they're very similar in their ability to go out and just do things well at any sport.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us. You guys have a great time out there. Please try to play some golf, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Thank you.
All right, Graham Crawford and Scott Berry out at the Hattiesburg Country Club, live at the Scott Berry Golf Tournament, already sold out for next year. We're going to talk about volleyball next. The Eagle volleyball team, big series coming up with South Al. The Eagle Hour continues in a moment.
Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel is a wholesaler and distributor that has been powering our community for over 20 years. With everything from conduits to tape, tools to home automation devices, if you can think of it, we supply it. All you need to do is talk us through the project at hand, and we'll ensure you're equipped to get it done right. To get all the electrical supplies you need, visit Robinson Electric at 519 North 13th Avenue or call us at 601-649-1317.
Southern Miss to the top. To the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
The second segment brought to you by Eagle Tire West. Former Southern Miss baseball player Matt Warren invites you to see him for premium Goodyear products, full auto and truck service at Eagle Tire West, next to Smith Motor Company on Highway 98 in West Hattiesburg. Family operated since 1985, Eagle Tire and Eagle Tire West. Goodyear tires, full service, and big Southern Miss supporters. Kelly Sanner along with Michael Mergens from the Southern Bancorp studio in Oak Grove, and to repeat, I feel better than I sound. It's just some of this fall funk.
Usually on the radio it's weird. You don't always sound as bad as you think you do.
Really?
Yeah, I've discovered that. I listened back and it wasn't. I mean, it still sounds bad.
I look
not that bad.
I've never looked good again, so I don't have to worry about that.
So they refuse to put cameras in here.
Yes. They do. They record. They have a lot of other video at the other telesouth.
Every other show on the
properties.
network has video except this one, and
now we know why. Hey, Forest Health reminds you that keeping up with your favorite team this time of year is fun, and remember that the most important person on the team is you. So don't forget to get your annual physical to be sure that your health is as good as it can be. Forest Health can help you with expert medical care closer to home. ForestHealth.org. Altogether, ForestHealth.org. They can help you make sure that you are the best that you can be, to borrow a U.S. Marines phrase, I think, wasn't it? That was the Marines, right? Not the Army? Be the best that you can be, or was that the Army?
Army was the... Wait. Somebody was few, the proud, the many.
That's the Marines. The few, the proud, the Marines. Okay, that must have been the Army. Be all you can be. Anyway, we talked about how well the football team is playing, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. But the volleyball team should be getting kudos because of the way that they are playing. It wasn't a great season last year, but if the rest of the season goes the way that this year has started, they are tied for first place in the West Division against South Alabama. They will actually travel to South Alabama this weekend for a series on Friday and Saturday. And of course, they don't want to leave the work to be done by anybody else. They want to take care of it themselves. And so we got a chance to talk with some of the young women on our volleyball team. Had a chance to sit down with Brynn Botkin, the senior from Magnolia, Texas. We'll find out how she got to Southern Miss and how things are going so far from her perspective. Brynn, we got us another Texan. All right, tell us how you got here. And you said airplane in our pre-interview interview, and I'm going to have to smack you if you say that on the air. But now tell us how you found out about Southern Miss and how you got here from Texas.
Yes, sir. So I was at ULM to start, so I transferred in, and I've been here for about 2 seasons. But yeah, I got here through the portal, and they kind of knew me because we're already in conference coming from ULM. So,
what did you think of the transfer portal thing? Was that a difficult decision, not just to come to Southern Miss, but to leave a school that you started, that you kind of originally put roots down in?
No, it was definitely really, really hard because I also entered the portal like pretty late. But I wasn't planning on leaving, and I really loved my team there. So it was kind of a difficult decision entering the portal in the first place. But also once you actually get in it, it's stressful because you have a certain time span to actually make a decision of where you're about to spend the rest of your college career. But yeah, I don't know.
You and I have something in common in that we played outside. Now, unfortunately, my parents, they'd have to let me in about midnight, but you play outside on the volleyball court. So tell us about your responsibilities. Thank you for laughing at that too, Brynn, because very few people ever laugh at
No, that was good. That was good. As an outside, I'd say my 2 main responsibilities are obviously going to be hitting, but probably my priority is serve receive because you can't run anything on the court if you don't have a good first touch to start the play. And then as far as my second responsibility as an outside hitting, I feel like outsides get a lot of what people consider garbage balls or out of system balls. So that's another thing we kind of have to deal with. And then if we're in system and running the middles and right sides enough, then you can shoot a ball out to the outside while in system and hopefully get a point from that. But
well, this team is really the talk of the town. I mean, you guys are really, really playing well, as evidenced by the big crowds. Crowds are turning out to see this team. What's gone right in your view with this team? What's working especially well?
Once again, playing off kind of what Lily said is our team culture. I feel like a lot of teams you can say that I don't know, team culture is where it all starts. But here we say it all the time. You can really feel it in the gym that we truly want success for one another. It's not just individualized. We really come together and want what's best for the person next to us.
Tell me about your game. What you think is the strength of your game and something that even if nobody else says anything, it's something that bothers you and you want to get better at?
Let's see. One of my strengths, I think I'm pretty aggressive as far as my swing goes. I'm always going to go for the ball. I'm always going to have a good work ethic, depending on in practice or in games. Something I can work on. Serve receive, I think everyone can work on that at any point. And then another thing for me, just specifically, I'm a little bit more undersized, so the block is a little bit more of a challenge for me. So just working on using that to my advantage instead of letting that shut me down, I think is always something I can work on as well.
From a skill set, you are the team. Compare this year's team so far from what you've seen as opposed to last year's squad.
Once again, I think just how we all come together. It's a certain love we all have for each other, which not saying we didn't have that last year, but I feel like last year was a little bit more individual, and this year it's playing together. Yeah.
And tell us about what you're studying and what you hope to do, where you see yourself 10 or 15 years down the road.
Yes, sir. So I'm studying architecture right now. Well, not right now, in general. But yeah, I hope to either become an architect, which means I'll have to get my master's somewhere. I'll probably try and work for a few years before I do that, or become a project manager, maybe a little bit of both.
Well, an architecture major, you're helping build a winner here at Southern Miss.
Hey, love that.
And tell us about some of the other teams in the league that you expect are going to, teams that are traditionally good, or some other teams that you think are going to battle in the Sun Belt this year.
Yeah. Well, I think Arkansas State was a big competitor for us, so it was huge getting a win on them.
Yeah, they're no good.
South Al is usually pretty good. Texas State, they're all really good. But this year it seems like there's been a lot of splits happening, so I think it's going to be some competitive matchups.
I can't imagine that you guys could be any happier than the start that you've had. I mean, there's a lot of work to do yet, but I mean, this is great.
Yes, sir. Yeah, a good start.
So tell us if you could have all the Southern Miss fans all together at once, if you could talk to them, give them your elevator speech about this volleyball team and why this is the hottest ticket in town and why everybody should come to every game, what would you tell them?
Well, I feel like it's so funny because in past years, I feel like not that many people have come, but then the more that people come, like if it's their first time coming to a game, they're always like, wow, that was like way more fun than I expected it to be. I feel like volleyball just in general is such a high energy sport, so whenever a lot of fans actually come and get to experience it, they end up liking it and wanting to come back.
And when did you get started in volleyball? And tell us about your, growing up a little bit and some of the other sports that you may have been involved in.
Yeah, so I started playing volleyball in like 7th grade, so I think I was like 13. But I played a lot of sports growing up. My dad's a football coach, so and I have 2 older brothers, so I just got thrown into everything. But I started dancing, so I did that for like 10 years. That also did not work out for me. But no, yeah, I did, softball, soccer, played basketball throughout high school.
Well, if you did competitive dance, if you're competitive, man, there's nothing more competitive than that dance stuff.
Oh, I know. It gets heated in there, yeah.
Just wasn't for you.
No, sir, not for me. Not very flexible.
That's what it came down to was flexibility?
Yes, my ankles couldn't move.
Okay. What was the final question? What was it like growing up in a household with a football coach? Did your dad ever talk much shop? And how would you describe your relationship between you and your football coach dad?
I'm really, really close with my dad. Growing up with him, a lot of people ask me this because they think he would be like super harsh about sports and things, but he's always been like, my main motivator, like super, super optimistic and encouraging. My mom, on the other hand, she's also the same way, but she's also been like more hardcore on the sports side, which is really funny because their roles are kind of reversed, you would think, considering my dad's a coach. But
actually, I've seen that in about the last 30 years, where there has been kind of a gender where the women are the hardcore sometimes, and not the guys. Thank you for what you do, Brynn. Thank you for making the decision to come to Southern Miss. We wish you nothing but the best. Rock and roll.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Brynn Botkin, she is an outside player for the Southern Miss volleyball team as they do head to South Alabama. Both of them are tied for first place in the Western Division in the Sun Belt. So that'll be those will be some scores worth watching this weekend. And off to a great start. And really, in the last academic year, there just wasn't a whole lot of great things happening with a lot of the sports teams. So the fact that some of our young people are experiencing some success, good for them. And big series again coming up this weekend. Still to come, and in our next segment, we're going to be talking with Mike Frazer from JUCO Weekly. You can see his podcast on any of the places that you normally get your podcasts, JUCOweekly.org. Nobody knows junior college football like Mike Frazer does, and there's some big games coming up this weekend. We're going to talk about some of the top players in the country and about some teams in Mississippi and where they may or may not fit in the national playoff picture. Mike Frazer sets us up for a night of junior college football when the Eagle Hour returns in a moment.
Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
This third segment of the Eagle Hour brought to you by D-Bat. D-Bat, located off of Interstate 59 in Hattiesburg. Air-conditioned, comfort, meticulous. They always go through there and make sure that everything is disinfected and cleaned so that your youngsters getting trained in softball and baseball can always have the best facility possible to improve their skills come next spring. And, of course, some softball and baseball players play in the fall. Glad to have with us, as he does most Thursdays, Mike Frazer from JUCO Weekly. JUCOweekly.org is where you can find his podcast. Nobody knows junior college football across the country like he does. And, Mike, as we welcome you, let's talk about, I'll tell you what, let's talk about some of the stud running backs that are having an effect on their teams. We hear so much about quarterbacks lots of times, but running backs sometimes don't get the credit that they deserve.
Well, you're right about that, Kelly. Good to be on. The running back pool pretty deep this year as far as putting up numbers. I mean, you look up in North Mississippi, over there in Scuba with Gavin Griffin, 10 touchdowns. That's tops in the country. He's averaging 104 yards per game. Strong numbers there. You've got Keon Harris at Jones, 9 rushing touchdowns. He's right behind him. I tell you, Mikel Allen, another one at Itawamba, another short yardage guy that they go to when they get inside that 10-yard line. He is performing well. And then down at Colin, you've got Martavius Boswell, averaging 126 yards a game, 9 rushing touchdowns. Really getting it done. Just solid guys. Of course, Frank's over at Pearl River. He's rushing it for 96 yards a game. Those are really your top running backs in the MACCC at this juncture.
And Pearl River playing at East Mississippi tonight, so it really doesn't have any playoff implications for Pearl River, but East Mississippi, if they have even an outside shot, they would have to win that. And let's talk, with a couple of 3 weeks left in the season, Mike, how do you see the national playoff picture at this point?
Yes, right now it's between, as far as a team coming out of the conference in Mississippi,
right?
It's going to be Northwest or Mississippi Gulf Coast. Those two teams are ranked 4th and 5th, respectively. Colin's still in the hunt, outside shot at 10, but too far back, too many other teams in front of them. I just don't see, even though it may not be right, I just don't see Colin being able to get in, with that committee. I think they're just going to take the conference champion. Now, if Colin can win that conference, yeah, they'd have a great case for it. But right now you're looking at 4 and 5 in the country in Gulf Coast and Northwest, and then the number 10 team is Colin. Those are really your 3 teams that are in the hunt. And either team, if it's Northwest or Gulf Coast, they really have a strong shot at hosting. You have 3 teams in front of them in Hutchinson, Iowa Western, and then Tyler. And they have daunting schedules down the stretch. Look, Iowa Western plays the toughest schedule in the country. So they already have 1 loss. So if they lose again, well, that'll probably knock them out of the 4-team playoff. One thing I do want to mention that really helps Mississippi, and it'll help them. Well, it'll help them this year because Snow is not in the picture. But moving on, recently Snow announced they're at JUCO out in Utah.
Right.
They announced that they are going to jump into the Texas League, effective next year for football. So that moves one strong independent out, and that really bodes well for Mississippi. It bodes well for the other schools in the conferences too, and also around the country, because there was always that dance. Do you let Kansas, Mississippi in? Then you got to leave Texas or Iowa out, because Snow is usually banging on the door with 1 loss. Yeah. Now Snow is in a conference. They'll have to win that conference outright, and it removes the cupcakes that Snow's been playing. Half their schedule is loaded with JV and prep schools, and that's why they pile on the stats and pile on the victories. And that's probably why they're making the move to Texas, is to strengthen up, solidify that resume, if you will. But, when you look at the MACCC, Mike, one of the presidents and ADs have got to be asking, what's in the Kool-Aid up in Senatobia and down in Perk? Because I can't remember a year that you and I haven't talked and that Gulf Coast and Northwest weren't in the discussion.
somewhere. I mean, they in football. Now, look, their other programs are comparatively speaking okay. They're competitive, but nothing like football. And football is the bell cow for a lot of the junior colleges across this country who have sports programs. So Gulf Coast and Northwest, whatever they're doing, they just keep doing it right.
They do. Back 10 years ago, it was all facilities, yet Northwest continued to win. Northwest is in the process of finishing up a multi-million-dollar athletic complex. So it comes down to, look, they hire the right guys to be the head coach. Look at the resume of Jack Wright. That guy's won everywhere. High school. He's won a national title at the junior college level. He's winning games at Gulf Coast, and there is pressure to win at Gulf Coast. They are not going to be patient for very long. You have a couple of bad seasons there, you're probably out the door. And then you look at Benji Parker up at Northwest. Here's another winner. The guy just wins. They recruit. You get the right head coach in place. He brings in the right personnel. And you got to have those 2 or 3 guys outside of a head coach who can recruit, who can find that guy in rural Georgia, rural Alabama, rural Mississippi, and then sell him on coming to your program.
Mike Frazier's with us from JUCO Weekly. Again, the podcast at JUCOweekly.org. We recommend strongly that you give it a like and a share and catch up with it every Tuesday. One of the things as the transfer portal has become more formidable, Mike, was there was a general feeling that this was really going to hurt JUCO players' abilities to land on their feet at a D1 school. From the feedback that you've gotten from all the coaches across the country, has that turned out to be the case? What is the junior college outlook on the transfer portal and its effect on junior college players getting that call?
Oh, it hurts them definitely. It hurts the high school kids too. These community college guys, they get pushed further back down the list now. So that's why I think the change that was already occurring, but now with the NIL and the portal, you're seeing guys not so much concerned about facilities, they're concerned about playing time. With the advancement of technology like Huddle and elsewhere where guys can upload film, that's what they need. But yes, the portal has absolutely hurt the junior college kid, and it has hurt the high school football player too.
All right, and when we go into these last three or four weeks of the regular season now, who do you see emerging eventually? Like if the voting panel was just you, who would be your number one team, and who do you see as maybe the top? I know it's kind of putting you on the spot, but who do you see as maybe the top 4 teams in the Frazer-only JUCO poll?
You talking national or Mississippi?
National.
National. Hutchinson, sure. I think head and shoulders, they're the number one team in the country. Number 2 for me right now, I think it's Mississippi Gulf Coast. 3 would be Iowa Western. 4 would be Northwest.
2 of the 4 out of Mississippi.
Well, those are your 4 best teams in the country. I watch enough film. I talk to enough coaches. Look, those are the 4 best teams in the country.
Unfortunately for our Mississippi schools, the other people aren't buying that, are they?
No, only one Mississippi. Though only one Mississippi school will come out, and I think Colin's going to have a hard time if they somehow run the table and win. Sometimes it comes down to tradition, and Colin hadn't been in that conversation for years. So if they're on a plateau where it's 50-50, I don't think they'd get the nod. Wouldn't be right. They'd certainly get my vote, but I don't think the committee would vote them in. The committee, and it's balanced and it's good, but when you get down to razor thin margins on who gets that 4 seed, the knock, it's wrong. I don't agree with it, but the knock that the committee in general has on the Mississippi League is they do not play anybody outside their conference. So how good are they? That's the rub. I've covered Mississippi for a long time.
Right.
I know how good it is. Yes, you've got your layups in the league like Delta and Coahoma. Okay.
Right.
However, outside of that, it's a very competitive league. It's the middle class of all junior college football. These teams compete. They all got stud D1 athletes on their teams. You can't say that about everybody else.
Before we let you go, Mike, I know it's a dog-eat-dog world and nobody feels sorry for the other guy, but when it comes to football, I always kind of feel bad for Southwest, East, Central, and Pearl River, as it turns out, because you're running the gauntlet with Jones and Colin and Gulf Coast and Hines. I mean, that South Division in the MACCC is brutal. But we appreciate, Mike, your insight as always. And again, you can catch his podcast weekly at JUCOweekly.org. And the video podcast is available on YouTube and any other places that you might be able to pull that down. Mike, thanks for your insight, buddy. Have a great weekend.
All the best, guys.
All right, thanks so much. When we come back, we're going to take the Eagle Hour on the road. We're going to tell you where we're going to be tomorrow and then wrap up a few other news and notes from Southern Miss and set you up for tonight's National Football League game. All next.
Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel is a wholesaler and distributor that has been powering our community for over 20 years. With everything from conduits to tape, tools to home automation devices, if you can think of it, we supply it. All you need to do is talk us through the project at hand, and we'll ensure you're equipped to get it done right. To get all the electrical supplies you need, visit Robinson Electric at 519 North 13th Avenue or call us at 601-649-1317.
You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour. The Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
Thanks to our friends at 4th Street Bar and Grill who bring us the fourth segment of the Eagle Hour, home of the $11.95 lunch, and that includes your soft drink. All the football games are always going to be on the big screen TVs. Booty sometimes will be running trivia contests on Wednesday night. They've got the Golden Tee machine there. That Golden Tee golf machine stays busy all the time. Darts, pool, everything that you need to have a good time, and everybody knows your name. Within the shadow of the rock, right over the 4th Street Bridge, over Highway 49, 4th Street, Bar and Grill. Don't forget, if you don't catch us live, you can download the SuperTalk Eagle Hour podcast by going to Apple, Audible, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Alexa, or Siri can play it for you. And I think if you do that, my voice will actually sound better. But
there's only so much I can do.
You don't think that when you listen to it back, it sounds that bad?
Usually not. What I've discovered, no. I could be wrong.
Yeah, because
I hear you in real time right now. I may listen back like, that was awful.
But all auto-tuning and all that stuff, can't you do something to help my voice? Maybe if I just talk a little bit softer.
I can make you sound like a chipmunk. I can speed it up.
Okay, well, I think that would be...
Yeah, that'd be entertaining.
Anything better than what we've got now. Tomorrow, the show is going to be on the road. We're going to be at Landrum's in Laurel. And the reason we're going to Landrum's tomorrow is because the Old Time Festival is scheduled for Saturday. The weather is going to be perfect. The rain is not going to move in until Saturday night into Sunday morning. So it'll be a beautiful day to get out and enjoy a blast from the past, a trip to the way things used to be in Mississippi and in this country. Landrum's in Laurel is sponsoring that event, and we will be there live with the Eagle Hour tomorrow, and we'll have the whole crew there except Bob, who will be rejoining us on Monday. A shout out to Mobay Beignet Company, the official beignet store of the Eagle Hour. We told you that normally you get your dipping sauces, your standard fares like your buttercream and cinnamon, but the flavors, here as we get into the fall now, you'll have a choice of pumpkin spice and apple pie. So tell them that we said hey as you enjoy your beignets. Actually, that kind of rhymes. I like that. Tell them we said hey
when you enjoy your beignets.
How about that?
Trademark.
Yeah, there you go. On Hardy Street, right across from the main campus at Southern Miss. We're glad to have Mobay Beignet Company on board. Congratulations to the men's tennis team for Southern Miss, who had a really rough season last year, but are coming off a top 16 finish of all the teams that played in the ITA, the International Tennis Association Southern Regional Tournament in Tuscaloosa. That finished up a couple of days ago. We talked to you about the volleyball team traveling to South Alabama. They will play a 3-game set on Friday night. That'll be on ESPN+. And then they are also going to play again on Saturday. So we'll know a lot more where the Eagle volleyball team stands after this first-place battle with South Alabama. The football game against the Cajuns, we'll talk more about the games tomorrow. Dima Mixon will have all the Sun Belt games. We're going to pick those for you. But that is a 4 o'clock kickoff, and some of the Sunbelt games this weekend are available on ESPNU, but the Southern Miss Louisiana Cajuns game will be on ESPN Plus, and that'll be a 4 o'clock start. So if you're making plans, remember 4 o'clock our time this weekend when they get ready to play. In football action last night, congratulations to former Southern Miss coach Scotty Walden. His UTEP Miners won last night. They beat Sam Houston at Sam Houston, only the second win of the year for UTEP. But we wish Coach Walden well as he continues to try to build that program. And another Conference USA action last night, Jacksonville State was at home and was able to dispense of the Delaware Blue Hens. Actually, I love that nickname, the Blue Hens. But Jacksonville State, a winner at home last night. There's other NCAA games on the schedule for tonight and tomorrow. There's also an NFL game tonight. The Pittsburgh Steelers will go to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Shouldn't be too tough for the Steelers tonight, although the people in the NFL say that this is the first time in the history of the league that a game will be featured with two starting quarterbacks that are over the age of 40. Aaron Rodgers will be starting for the Steelers, Joe Flacco for the Bengals, so the Graybeards get to have their time in the sun tonight, Michael.
I don't know what to say to that. Because I'm almost 50.
I think it's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, but that about 40 is when things start going south for me. So that's why when they go beyond 40, I don't get it.
And really, and you think they got plenty of money, right? They just do it for the love of the game. And Joe Flacco stepping into a situation where you have an offensive line at Cincinnati that has never been good. Mm-hmm. So you have a bad offensive line with an old quarterback. Could be a recipe for disaster. And I didn't get to tell you congratulations on the Bears win.
Yeah, how about
last
that?
Weekend. They're playing better, aren't they?
Better, yeah.
Some of those draft picks are starting to develop, and I think the Bears are a team that you're going to want to watch going forward. So before we get out of here, Genesis of Hattiesburg is the official auto dealer of the Eagle Hour. Genesis sedans and SUVs are the finest on the road today, and you can take a look at them exclusively at Mississippi's only Genesis dealership. It's right here in Hattiesburg, Highway 98 West in Hattiesburg, and we hope that you will avail yourself to do that. We'll join you tomorrow from Landrum's in Laurel, get you all set up for the Old Time Festival, and put the finishing touches on our prep work for the Golden Eagles Cajuns game Saturday at 4 o'clock in Lafayette. Thanks for joining us. For producer, engineer Michael Mergens, I'm Kelly Sander. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And until then, Southern Miss
to the top.
To the top.
Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. I go through the revolution.
Waiting. You do it at grocery stores, in traffic, and at the doctor's office. But what if you could skip the wait altogether? Introducing Trust Care Plus, a healthcare membership that makes feeling better even faster. Skip the waiting room and enjoy priority access at any Trust Care clinic. Sick kid? Text your care crew day or night. Get discounts on prescriptions and so much more. Wait no more. Feeling better just got a whole lot faster. Join Trust Care Plus today. Plans start from just $15 a month. Learn more at trustcarehealth.com/plus.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.